If you're a teenage car enthusiast, here are the top 5 cars you can buy for $5,000. Be sure to stick to the end because the advice we give you at the end of this video will save you thousands of dollars when looking for a car. First up, we have the 2005 Lexus IS 300. This car has the infamous 2JZ, and you'll be able to go around telling people you have a 4-door Supra. These actually have one of the most reliable motors ever made, with a skull-crushing 250 horsepower. You'll be gapping every grandma at the light. This thing has 4 doors, and some even come in manual. But you're gonna have to cough up some more change for those. With a combined city and highway gas mileage of 22 miles per gallon, this thing ain't too shabby for your first car. Plus, it's rear-wheel drive, so you can drift this to the moon. They also have tons of cheap aftermarket parts you can buy from eBay. Just make sure you don't turn it into a rice rocket. These cars are also perfect for drift builds. Since they are rear-wheel drive, you can have fun anywhere, anytime you want. Just be aware, you won't be running from the cops in this car. Also, make sure that you always check the Carfax. Since these are early 2000 cars, make sure the one you're getting isn't from northern or snowy states, because rust can eat these cars like crazy. So it's also recommended you at least get a good look at the undercarriage and do an inspection. And you can always turn this car into an actual 4-door Supra by doing a NAT build or adding your own turbo kit, which costs around $1,000. Or you can go all out and swap in a GTE motor or LS motor. Just know that going the LS route will be a lot cheaper. Next at number 2, we got the 1990 Mazda Miata. This fun car is like driving a go-kart with 142 horsepower. It's a 4-banger with tons of aftermarket stuff you can buy for this car. Every woman would be dying to be your wife. And if you're one of those anime dweebs, this is the perfect car to turn into a cringe rocket. Although it sounds like a weed whacker that wants to be put out of its misery, it's not a bad first car, considering it gets 25 miles per gallon combined. You can also do some insane builds like LS motor swaps. Considering the car only weighs 2,300 pounds, you will be flying into another dimension. These cars also can come with a manual transmission, so even though it doesn't have much power, the fun never ends. Despite the fact the front end of the car looks a little special, you can do some clean builds with these cars, and parts are very cheap since you can get them all on eBay and even fabricate them yourself. At number 3, we have the 2007 G35. For you guys that love the sound of the VQ, which is a V6, and a whole band of trumpets that can be heard in another country, this is for you. This is by far the fastest of the past 2 cars, with around 306 horsepower, rear-wheel drive. You can tell everyone you have a left-hand drive Skyline Altima, and you're ready to take over the streets. Just make sure you don't end up being a statistic. 90% of these cars are rebuilt because people can't handle the power and drive with Nissan Altima Energy everywhere they go. They also come in manual or automatic, coupe or sedan, and have a huge community with tons of aftermarket parts you can buy. Your car can also sound like a GTR if you decide to put a Motordyne Art exhaust and turbo kit on. Now, in terms of miles per gallon, this gets around 22 combined. At number 4, we have the 2007 Acura TL. With a V6, these are basically fancy Hondas that get both reliability of a Honda motor, with VTEC of course, and also speed, with 258 horsepower. That's plenty for the road. It also gets 20-25 miles per gallon combined. If you're lucky, you can actually find some of these with the 6-speed manual transmission. This will add some extra fun. But unfortunately, these are front-wheel drive. There is also the Acura TLS, which has an extra 20-30 horsepower to the standard TL and also has a manual option. Just make sure you find one with good maintenance history, preferably one that was just a family car. You can tell all the people you lose a race to that your VTEC hadn't kicked in yet. There are also tons of parts that are pretty cheap because they can also be used on regular Hondas. At number 5, we have in our opinion the best option when it comes to reliability, looks, and plenty of power for a first car. And that's the 2007 350Z. This is the brother of the G35 and comes in both manual and automatic. As another VQ, these have proved to be reliable motors with plenty of aftermarket parts. It has a V6 and 306 horsepower, 22-25 miles per gallon, and is rear-wheel drive, and is perfect for doing a future drift build. As far as being a commuter, you'll be pushing it as it only has 2 seats and not much room. The overall styling of this car is the best out of all of these cars. They are also really easy to do motor swaps on. It's common to put LS or 2JZ motors in these. Out of all these cars, this one by far has the biggest community, and you'll be able to find plenty of other people who enjoy them as much as you do. Whatever you do, do not put a Tommy single exit exhaust on this thing. Your neighbors will hate you, and you will most likely get evicted or shot at. And please think twice before you get a flame tune. We don't have your car going up in a flame before you can even graduate. Overall, all these cars are perfect for new car enthusiasts like you. Just please take this advice before you go out and buy any of them. Check the Carfax. Make sure you're getting a car from a southern state or California to avoid rust, preferably low-owner cars. And always get an inspection from a mechanic before you purchase. Car is a huge financial decision, and you don't want to be out of luck as soon as you buy the car. It can ruin you. Paying cash for something as small as $5,000 will save you in the long run. As a young person, as car loan companies like to overcharge young people, you don't want to end up paying double what you got the car for because of interest, and insurance is most likely going to be high for your age. With that being said, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe and put in the comment section what you'd like to see next, so you guys can make the right decisions. We will see you in the next one.